podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Find the biggest voices in sports on the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Like the Football for Kids podcast with me, Darren Rees, where kids get to learn about their favourite players, teams, trophies and more. The podcast where kids are inspired, educated and motivated through the thing which they love. Search Football for Kids and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
Adaptability in karate. Make gifting easy with Benson Clegg. Handcrafted cufflinks, luxury accessories, and a proper British style. Trusted since the 1930s by royalty. Get 15% off with code KARATE15, exclusively for Anxious Black Belt podcast listeners. Shop now at bensonandclegg.com. Welcome to Anxious Black Belt podcast focusing on karate, mental health, and everything in between. Today, another episode, part 4, on a benefits of karate for mental health. And the subject today will be adaptability. Karate is hugely versatile style of martial arts that is not solely focused on sporting aspect. You see, for example, wrestling, boxing, Muay Thai, and MMA that people going through and they have to be young for it. They have a span of the career where they're very successful when they're training hard, uh, getting into competitions, fighting really, really strong, winning tournaments. Everything is measured in wins, money earned, and bouts won. Karate is on opposite side. It can be a sport where you have a hugely able athletes performing at the peak of their age, but mainly karate is for a longer span of life and people with different abilities performing, which is the one part of the karate that I love. And the older I get, the more interesting it is for me to get into those other areas than competition and peak performance. So as you know, we're going into a boxing. Most of the athletes by the age of 35, 40 retire. Some of them becoming coaches, but most of people just simply retire and move on to the other sports like jogging, gym, triathlons, or something else. You don't hear much about a group of people over 60 going to the gym doing boxing. In recent years, this is changing. The more kind of boxercise exercises are implemented, and the senior communities can go and do that, but you don't see many of them actually taking it up. At least that's what for my local area is. We've got few classes with the boxercise and stuff like that, and I don't see many elderly doing that type of class or people with a physical disabilities because it is very demanding. If you want to be a good boxer, you have to train really, really hard. You're gonna be punching ahead. In karate, you can start as a child and continue practicing to the very, very late stage of your life. I've got two programs for a elderly when we're doing kata for mental health, for mobility, for stability, for strength. And those classes are very popular. You look at the Tai Chi and as well, very popular with elderly because it's slow, is promoting the lubrication of your joints, strength, for the muscles, flexibility for movement, so it's overall beneficial. People with disabilities can do it as well because it don't have to be contact sport. It can be a activity that you do just for a pleasure. It can be as a contact one, can be as a non-contact one, can be as a fully compliant, and can be with resistance. So there is a huge versatility of techniques and applications of karate where you can choose the one that suits you the best. Obviously, with that come problems. There's a lot of space for people hiding behind the belts and actually doing very poor martial arts, which benefits of sports is that you've got clear identification who's good and who's not so good through the sport and achievements. But overall, for a hobbyist and a wider spectrum of a our community, I think karate is a little bit more beneficial because you can reach more people and engage them in physical activity, something that stimulates their brain through the forms and so on. So I think overall, karate have got a wider application than, let's say, boxing, MMA, and stuff. Plus, karate attracts a lot of children because of a ability to improve coordination, agility, strength, discipline, and building that confidence in people through control failures, giving a challenges, and so on. If you want to listen about that, the link is up the top for the previous videos, or listen to a previous podcast covering the control failure challenges and the community building aspects of karate. But going back to adaptability, in my programs, we can adapt karate towards people with various disability. We've got friends who are teaching people with a physical disability where they are chair bound or on a wheelchairs. I personally been training with people who are um, partially sighted or fully blind. That was very interesting exercise to be able to explain the forms and support them through the touch and guidance, how to move within the katas and what movements to do. And feedback is that they've been hugely enjoying hitting pads, and stuff like that. So it is very rewarding for me as a coach that I can use the tools I've got in the karate and adjust it to the people who need. And with my work for over 8 years now, working with using karate as a tool to improve people's mental health alongside their treatment and their therapies, we can see that there is huge improvement in mental health and abilities of those people and being more open to the world and stepping up the training. They started with a forms, now they're doing parts. Now few students moving to a bit more difficult and challenging part of our club where we're doing a sparrings and doing a throws, takedowns, escapes, and so on, and so on, so on. So through that adaptability, it evolves and changes, and then you can readjust to the level of the students that they need it, right? And as well as I'm getting older, I more appreciate the solo training, the kata, where I can focus on a technique, I can improve the visual outcome of my training, I can strengthen my legs, I can make it stronger my joints, I can still think and learn new forms, stimulating my neural pathways, just like the crosswords or Sudoku does for you. So there's lots of benefits in being able to adapt the exercise or performance you do. And you just don't see that in MMA and other combat sports, that it's transferable to the older age because the focus is on a peak performance and the younger people who are in a top shape, and kind of the rest of the population is neglected. Karate strength for me is that ability to adapt to each and individual person, being able to do whatever they need from the karate. If you want a sport, there is a system for that. If you want a meditation, there is a system for that. If you want a self-defense, there is a system for that. So karate is hugely versatile, and adaptable and accessible to pretty much everybody. Is it perfect? No, it's not. There is, like I said, a lot of space for people hiding behind the belt without the skills. But that's the price that we have to pay. That's the price of the success. Again, I've got a video on it if you would like to see or listen to the podcast. What the drawbacks are of success, and unfortunately, other successful arts going through the same process at the moment. So I think it is just the way it's gonna be. Hey guys, if you would like to support the channel, best way to do it is to watch another video, listen to another podcast, share it with your friends. If you want to do a step more, you can grab the t-shirts through the Fourth Wall account on a Karate for Mental Health CIC. All the funding from that goes towards that adaptable karate where we can support people with different abilities to come, experience karate, reap the benefits of them, and enjoy the art.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.